Okay, let's move to item 4, reports. Administration, do you want to be first?
Actually, mine will all be embedded in the minutes. I don't have one report. I want to be final.
Okay, you have Mike's report in front of you. Any questions or comments there?
Mike, where do we get the RAP funding from? The 6,000?
Department of Ed.
Department of Ed. Why would that?
Yeah, under the preschool, we submitted our application. Not really a grant anymore, and the remaining schools in Iowa that don't currently have preschool grants will get a prorated amount, and each of our 2 districts, Sac and Wall Lake, will get the 0.6 FTE times 11 students. And what was used was our kindergarten enrollment data from our fall easier data that we submit online, and that's our attendance data. And that amounts to, for the district, $77,655. So when I went to the ICM session about the preschool application, if they said it once, they said it 50 times. Every school in Iowa that does not have funding will get prorated funding this year if you simply fill out the application. So filled the application out. It was due last week, got it in, and we don't know really when or how we'll find out, but if we submitted one and it met the criteria, then we'll be funded, which we expect to be. And the following year, next year's 10-11, in the 11-12 school year, then it will move to a 0.6 for all kids counted on this fall's preschool enrollment. So they'll base it on whatever our enrollment this fall is. So if we have 45 kids in one building and 40 in the other, we've got 85 kids that are 4-year-olds, times the 0.6 times the per pupil cost right then. So I think this was the way, actually, for the state of Iowa to fund all the schools. There were huge issues about the inequity of the funding. And what will really be a task will be in a year from now, where the state will find the money, though, for all those kids, because we're going to get 77,000, and our grant last year was for 235,000. So I think on ICM session I talked about us getting every school getting about 28% of what they would normally have gotten, all of the last schools. I think there are 177 schools that are waiting to be funded. That would be buildings, not districts. So we got about 28% of that. So in another year, they're going to need to find a lot of money, or they're going to have to cut funding. They're going to have to prorate for everybody in the state of Iowa. So I'm not sure how that will work, but this is a great start for us. It won't quite pay for teacher salaries and benefit packages, but that's a great start to do that. And then in the ICM session, we were strongly urged to apply for empowerment scholarships, and empowerment funds, I'm thinking, have probably been cut as well. But it looks like there's still, we know that there are going to be scholarships. There's going to be money for some scholarships, so we'll apply for those as well.
So when you say apply for scholarships, the teacher applies? I mean,
well, the parents fill out an application, and then they fill that information out depending upon their income level, and then we submit it for them. And then what we have to do is every month the teachers have to just verify the dates of attendance of the students.
And then they would pay for that child's?
Yes. Whatever that fee is. Yeah, okay. Yep. So
Strictly for 4-year-olds.
yeah.
Strictly for 4-year-olds.
The funding is strictly for 4-year-olds.
So have we come up with a conclusion on the kids?
That's going to be the question that we have. If we allow 5-year-olds to be in the program, they're going to cut our numbers of 4-year-olds for the following year. That's just a piece of it.
Sure. The other thing that we have to do somehow, and we're talking with Head Start about this also, is if kids 4-year-olds go to Head Start only, and they never attend our program this year, then we don't ever get to count those kids for the following year. And with some of our Head Start kids, they attend Head Start in the morning, and already they've been attending Head Start, and they come over to the afternoon in the SAC building, or they ride their Region 12 bus down to Wall Lake in the afternoon. Not all of them, but some of them every year for many years have done that. So we're talking with Susan Wesley, who's DHS, not DHS, who is Head Start, just talk about, so how can we make sure that somehow we have all of those kids for part of the day, for half of the day, so that we have the full count of kids, and they're interested in helping us with that as well. And we don't know what that's going to look like yet, but that was one of the pieces of the information from the ICN session, is you get every kid that you can. You have tuition, but you lower your tuition. You use empowerment money, but you get kids there because your count, the count is going to be based on what it looks like this year. So our attempt will be to have all 4-year-olds that we know about in both districts, East Sac County, enrolled in either one program or the other.
So the 5-year-olds that we're maybe going to do the kindergarten again, because of the, I know Cindy has it set up for a 2-year curriculum.
Yeah.
What do they do? I mean, will there be a transitional, or we're...
Well, Mike and I talked about a couple of things.
A couple of things.
The part we're worried about is this is all happening late to tell people that have 5-year-olds that wanted them to be in the VK program that
It's one of them.
Sure, that it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
One of the things Mike and I have thrown around is that 5-year-olds are eligible for full-day programs in our districts, because that's what they're eligible. Doesn't mean they've always done it, but they're eligible for it. Part of what we thought about is a preschool program for 4-year-olds only, an optional kindergarten or a pre-kindergarten, or there's lots of names for it,
Right.
where kids went all day, but what we knew is they were going to go to kindergarten 2 years. That more than likely, but instead of even doing a half-day program, they do a full-day program. Okay. So 4-year-olds only go half-day.
Right.
Then there are 2 kinds of kindergartens. There's lots of names for it, but an optional kindergarten, because, and then if there were a kindergartner who a parent thought and the school thought they don't need optional, we don't agree that they need to be here, they need to be in the regular kindergarten program, but we find out toward the end of that kindergarten year, you know what, they really need kindergarten again. They could still take their 2nd year of kindergarten and still be right where they would have been if they'd have done 4-year-old and then 5-year-old preschool and then kindergarten. So I told Mike what I've always liked, and it happened in a school that I was in before I came here, is that we just went to 5-year-olds. You need to go all day. And if you need to do it twice, we'd rather have you go all day twice than do half a day and then miss your chance to do that. So we're still trying to, we got our numbers pretty firm on our preschoolers that are in our district. Now we're asking Head Start for preschool numbers, and then we're going to start thinking more seriously about this. As a parent, does that seem logical? You have a 5-year-old that something like that might work?
I would not be satisfied sending them to kindergarten 2 years. You know, having, I know there's 2 sections, but having the same curriculum. I wouldn't do that as a parent. So I think having a transitional or something, an all day, definitely, I think.
Well, and I
would be good.
Yeah, the program that I was familiar with, that I had experience with, it was truly between the 4-year-old and the full-day regular kindergarten program, because it was really meant to go back and take a look at the things that kids were just weak at yet, that all those pre-literacy and those pre-math social skills, to really prep them for being successful in kindergarten. Then we can shoot them right out to 1st grade and know that they'll probably learn to read, which is what we want to help them do. So,
Is that going to require different teachers, more teachers?
Well, I don't know.
To do that?
I don't know. Like I said, we really started working on this just in the last couple of weeks. So.
Well, yeah, they kind of threw
Wait till the end.
that out at the last minute.